Canyonlands National Park is a wonderland of natural features and amazing landscapes located about 30 minutes from Moab, Utah, and its more popular cousin, Arches National Park. Let's take a tour of some of the beautiful sights and experiences that you can take in when spending a day in Canyonlands. After a pleasant drive through the desert of southeastern Utah, you'll pass the National Park Service sign marking the park boundary. A short distance down the road, you'll pass through the entrance gate where you'll be asked to show your National Park Pass or pay the daily entrance fee. The scenery here is still fairly empty desert, but you're about to enter the marvelous natural features of Canyonlands. As you work your way into the park, you'll pass the Island in the Sky Visitor Center on your right, where you can find information about current park conditions and upcoming ranger-led events. It's well worth a stop. Canyonlands National Park is actually divided into 4 districts. We've just entered the most popular of these districts, Island in the Sky. This is the most accessible from Moab, and because of this, it's far more popular than the other 3 districts. We'll be driving through there in just a moment, taking a look at some of the wonderful sights of Island in the Sky. The second district, the Needles District, is located pretty far away from Island in the Sky. It's about 40 miles south of Moab, and it features a stunning array of unique sandstone formations that tower above the earth. The Needles District has only one road, and it's primarily a backcountry experience. If you're an experienced backpacker, consider the Needles District as a trip for another day. Now, speaking of experienced backpackers, the third district of the park is known as the Maze. Getting there requires a lengthy drive on rough desert roads that requires a 4-wheel drive vehicle and some excellent driving skills. And the fourth district consists of the 2 rivers that flow through Canyonlands, the Green River and the Colorado River. Now, those rivers are pretty calm in the upper regions of the park, but they merge together inside of Canyonlands, and they produce some pretty rough waters below their confluence. If you're interested in exploring the rivers, outfitters in the region offer multi-day guided trips. Our interest lies in the much more accessible Island in the Sky district. This district takes its name from the fact that it's a mesa almost completely disconnected from the surrounding land. In fact, the only place that you can access the mesa is on a narrow strip of land known as the Neck that lies just beyond the visitor center. The Neck connects the island to the surrounding desert, and in fact it will eventually disappear, completely disconnecting the Island in the Sky from the surrounding area. Right before entering the Neck, you'll have the opportunity to pull off into a parking lot on your left. This stop is definitely worth your while. By wandering out on the edge of the Neck, you'll be able to take in an amazing view of the surrounding area, getting an up-close and personal look at the Island in the Sky. From this vantage point, you'll also be able to view a large portion of the Schaefer Trail, a dirt road that begins right near this overlook and descends down a series of harrowing switchbacks to the bottom of the canyon, where the road then heads back towards Moab. It's a lot of fun to stay here and watch 4-wheel drive vehicles navigate the difficult road, but be extremely careful if you choose to do so yourself. While we were there on a recent trip, we watched this camper van get stuck on the ice and then attempt a 3-point turn on a very narrow portion of the trail. That's some white-knuckle driving that could end in disaster for an unskilled driver. After leaving the Schaefer Trail overlook, cross over the Neck and continue down the park road. You'll have about a 5-mile drive with some beautiful views and peaceful desert scenery. Soak it in and enjoy the trip. Our next stop is the trailhead for Mesa Arch, perhaps the most famous feature in Canyonlands. You won't be able to see the arch from the road. If you want to take it in, you'll need to go on a half-mile stroll down a pretty easy trail to reach the arch on the mesa's edge. It's an enjoyable hike across mostly level terrain. When you arrive at Mesa Arch, you'll find yourself looking at one of the most popular photo opportunities in Canyonlands Park. This natural stone formation is known as a pothole arch. Pothole arches form when water pools on the stone near the edge of a cliff, and the chemicals in the water slowly dissolve the stone until a hole forms, creating the arch. The beauty of Mesa Arch comes not only from the beauty of the natural stone formation, but from the views of Canyonlands and the distant LaSalle Mountains that you can see through the arch. It's a must-see sight in Canyonlands, no matter the weather or time of day that you arrive. But there are some special times to view the arch. If you make it to the arch at sunrise, you'll be treated to the beauty of the arch framing the rising sun. Many people visiting the park go directly to Mesa Arch first thing in the morning to capture this photo. But you can also get some beautiful views of the arch at night by looking at the stars through the arch. Visit on a clear evening and you'll be treated to a wondrous sight. Leaving Mesa Arch, we're going to make a left turn to continue on the main park road and then make a quick right at the upcoming intersection. This is the road to Upheaval Dome. But before we head there, we're going to make a couple other stops. We'll follow the first road on the left to the Green River Overlook. The overlook at the end of this road is a quick stop with a stunning view. You'll be able to see far into the distance into an area defined by the Green River, a major river that begins in Wyoming's Wind River Range and works its way across Utah from the Uinta Mountains in the north to the river's endpoint here in Canyonlands National Park, where it flows into the Colorado River, before that combined river crosses into Arizona, where it continues to carve the Grand Canyon today. Then it's back into the car and a drive back to the last road intersection where we'll turn left to continue along the road toward Upheaval Dome. We'll make another stop, however, at Aztec Butte. This is a worthwhile stop if you're up for a 2-mile hike that does involve some climbing. The area actually includes hiking on 2 different hills. Aztec Butte is the higher hill on the right. You'll be rewarded with opportunities to take in some impressive views and get up close and personal with some ancient structures. The closer hill is a much easier climb, while the second involves some more scrambling to get up to the top. Whether you're doing one or both of the hills, you'll work your way around to the back of the first hill following a sandy wash until you reach a sign offering you the option of turning left to climb the smaller hill toward an ancient granary, or turning right to climb Aztec Butte. Let's first go left and climb the smaller hill to the granary. It's a pretty quick climb, and once you reach the top, you can follow the rock cairns to the site of an ancient granary built by the Pueblo people who inhabited this area about 1,000 years ago. Those people gathered seeds and roots from the surrounding area and farmed corn, beans, and squash when the weather permitted. They used these granaries to store their harvest for the tougher times that inevitably lay ahead. The fact that they remain standing 1,000 years later is a testament to their construction skills. When you're done enjoying the granary, you can return to the junction with the sign and focus your attention on the area's main attraction, Aztec Butte. You will need to do a little rock scrambling to make your way up to the top, but it's definitely worth it. When you reach the top of Aztec Butte, you'll be able to take in a phenomenal view of the surrounding area. But don't stop there. Continue walking in a circle around the top of the butte, and you'll be able to take in some other fantastic views. From the eastern side of the butte, you'll be able to take in a view of the LaSalle Mountains in the distance, beyond the canyons of Island in the Sky. You'll also find another Pueblo structure in this area, the remains of a stone building resting on top of the butte. After you've spent enough time exploring there, it's time to make your way back to your vehicle and continue to the end of the road. That's where you'll find Upheaval Dome, one of the most fascinating geologic features in the park. Taking in Upheaval Dome is also going to require a little hiking. It's about 0.3 of a mile and a fairly steep hike to make it to the first overlook, but you'll regret it if you don't make that trip. When you do reach the top, take a right turn to make your way around to the first overlook. From there, you'll be able to take in the majesty of Upheaval Dome. Now, there's some controversy over how this dome actually formed. A long-standing theory was that Upheaval Dome was a salt dome pushed up from underneath the Earth by the weight of the rock above it. However, recent evidence uncovered by researchers with NASA and the University of Nevada at Reno suggests that Upheaval Dome is actually an impact crater left after an enormous meteorite struck the Earth over 100 million years ago. Whatever its origin, Upheaval Dome is a dramatic sight. Now, remember that sign for a second overlook? You might be tempted to think that you've seen the Upheaval Dome and all the area has to offer, but you really should continue on for another half mile to the second overlook. It's even better than the first. First, it's a very cool hike across some exposed rock to make your way to that viewpoint. And then once you get there, you'll be treated to an even better view of Upheaval Dome as well as the surrounding landscape. After finishing your hike, make your way back to your car and return the way that you came. You'll be traveling all the way back to the end of this road and then turning right onto the road that you left shortly after visiting Mesa Arch. As you travel along this road, be sure to stop at some of the scenic overlooks. Each offers a slightly different perspective on the island in the sky, and they build up to the amazing finale of our day in Canyonlands National Park, coming up at Grand View Point. The road ends in a parking area where you'll need to get out of your car and take a brief walk to the southernmost point on the mesa. At over 6,000 feet in elevation, Grand View Point offers a sweeping view of the dramatic landscape carved by the Colorado River. It's a fitting place to relax and enjoy the scenery as you reflect on your experience in Canyonlands National Park. Enjoy your trip.